Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are going to be talking about jaguars. And we've got some really fascinating stuff to cover here.
Absolutely.
So let's just get right into it.
Sounds good.
All right, so starting off, um, jaguars. They're the apex predator of the Americas. And something I found really fascinating is they're actually the third largest cat in the world
Yeah, that's right.
after tigers and lions.
Yeah.
So pretty big.
Pretty big. Behind the lion and the tiger.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that kind of explains why they're the apex predator.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that size really gives them an advantage
Yeah.
over a lot of the other animals in their habitat. And they're closely related to leopards,
Yeah.
but there are some key differences that set them apart.
Well, yeah, and I think one of the coolest things is that their bite is actually stronger than a lion's or a tiger's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pound for pound, they have the strongest bite force
That's crazy.
out of all the big cats.
Yeah,
And they've
you-
really evolved to use that to crush bones and even turtle shells. Wow.
And unlike other big cats
Yeah.
that go for the throat, jaguars actually go for the head to deliver that sort of swift kill.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Brutal, but effective.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about the size, but we got to mention those coats, too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Got to talk about those coats.
That golden yellow with those black rosettes, it's just so striking.
And those rosettes are actually not just for show. They help them blend in
Right.
with the dappled sunlight on the rainforest floor.
So it's camouflage.
It's camouflage, yeah. Nature's stealth technology.
Exactly. But then you've also got those melanistic jaguars, the black panthers, which seems kind of counterintuitive
Yeah, you think.
for camouflage. Like, why would you be solid black in a rainforest?
Oh, and that's what's so fascinating about it.
Yeah.
It's a genetic mutation that results in that almost completely black coat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's thought that it might actually give them an advantage
Really?
in really dense forests where there's not much light.
Oh, so it's the
Yeah.
opposite. It's like, yeah, it's like the opposite of what you'd expect, but it works.
I mean, nature is cool like that.
Nature's cool, finds a way, right?
Yeah. So, okay, they've got the camouflage, but where are they actually living? Like, where are these guys hanging out?
Well, historically, they were found as far north as the southwestern United States,
Wow.
but sadly, their range has shrunk considerably.
So they're not up in the U.S. anymore.
No, not anymore.
Where are they now?
Now they're mainly found in Central and South America. They're doing okay in the Amazon basin
Okay.
and the Pantanal, but overall, their range is definitely much smaller than it used to be.
I feel like that's kind of a common theme with a lot of these animals
It is.
that we talk about. It's like their ranges are shrinking.
Habitat loss.
And we were just talking about those forests, right?
Right.
So what's causing that range to shrink so much?
Well, a big part of it is deforestation.
Yeah.
Humans are clearing land for agriculture, for development, and that's fragmenting their habitat. So basically, they're being pushed into smaller and smaller areas.
So it's like little islands
Yeah, exactly. It's like little islands of habitat, which makes them more vulnerable
to everything.
to everything. Yeah, disease, competition, even just finding mates.
And then I'm guessing poaching is playing a role too?
Oh, yeah, poaching is a huge problem. Their fur is still highly valued in some places.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then there's also the issue of, conflict with humans, particularly ranchers.
Oh, right, because jaguars are predators and they're going after livestock.
Exactly. Sometimes they prey on livestock, and that can lead to retaliatory killings.
So we help, pushing them out of their habitat, and then when they try to find food, we
Yeah.
kill them for it.
It's a really tough situation,
Yeah,
and it's one of the reasons why they're listed as near threatened.
which basically means they're on the verge.
Yeah, they're one step away from being considered endangered.
And so
Yeah.
what can we even do? Like,
No.
do we protect these incredible creatures?
Well, there are a lot of people working really hard to protect them. There are organizations creating protected areas.
Okay.
They're working to combat poaching. And also, really importantly, to promote sustainable land management practices.
So working with the people who live.
Yeah, working with local communities to find ways to coexist.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the goal is to ensure that jaguars can thrive alongside humans.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've talked about the physical side of jaguars, where they live, the threats they're facing. But I think we need to touch on the cultural significance too, because
Yeah, for sure.
they play a huge role in a lot of different cultures.
They do. I mean, they feature very prominently in the mythologies of the ancient Maya and the Aztecs.
Yeah.
They were seen as symbols of strength, power, even associated with the underworld.
That's always been really fascinating to me, the connection to the underworld.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think it was about the jaguar that led to those associations?
Well, it's hard to say for sure, but,
Hmm.
they are very elusive animals. Yeah.
They're powerful. They're often nocturnal, so they kind of move through the shadows.
Yeah.
And I can see how that could have inspired some of those beliefs.
It's like they're these mythical creatures in real life.
Absolutely.
So they're powerful in the natural world
Mhm.
and in our myths and legends. But what about their ecological role? Like, how do they impact their ecosystems?
Well, as apex predators, they play a vital role in regulating prey populations.
So they're making sure that one species doesn't.
Exactly. They make sure that no one species gets out of control
Huh.
and becomes too dominant, and that helps to maintain biodiversity.
So more variety in the ecosystem.
More variety, yeah, and that leads to a healthier ecosystem overall.
So without jaguars, things could get pretty out of whack.
They could, yeah. You could see certain species populations explode, others might decline, the whole balance would be thrown off.
It's like a domino effect.
It is. It's a domino effect. Everything is connected in these ecosystems.
And it really emphasizes that. Conservation isn't just about protecting one species, it's about protecting the whole web of life.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this has been a really amazing deep dive. I think we've learned a lot about jaguars, their adaptations, their importance, and the challenges they face.
And I think the takeaway here is that these creatures are more than just beautiful animals.
Yeah.
They're essential for the health of their ecosystems and ultimately for the health of the planet.
Exactly. And while their future might be a little bit uncertain right now, there is hope. There are people working to protect them.
There is hope, absolutely.
And we can all play a part in supporting those efforts.
We can all make choices that help protect jaguars and their habitat. Support conservation organizations, be mindful of our consumption habits.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
So true. And, on that note, I do want to leave everyone with something to think about. We talked about the ecological impacts, but what about the human communities that share the jaguar's habitat? How would their lives be changed if
jaguars disappeared?
Something to consider.
It's a really complex question,
Yeah.
but one that deserves our attention.
Absolutely. So that's it for today. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See you next time.